You go back to COP26 negotiations in Glasgow, where the issue of the just energy transition, was premiered by the world leaders. So the EU is one of the staunchest supporters of this particular initiative, where South Africa is trying to decarbonize its economy and making sure that they move away from the over-reliance from the coal, especially because we know that when you talk about climate change, so the coal, is one of the main contributors. So South Africa has really sought the partnership with quite a number of Western nations. And of course, EU as well is one of the very key players in this regard. So you look at the very strategic partnership between South Africa and EU. So one of the issues that is quite important is around energy. And we do know with the challenges facing the country currently, it is a very important issue, given the very far-reaching implications in so many sectors of the economy. But by and large, the frustration from the South Africans who are bearing the brunt of the rolling blackouts. But also just apart from that, Naledi, we do know that South Africa and EU do have a very important ties. In fact, South Africa is one of the 10 countries in the world enjoying this cordial and the strategic partnership with the EU.
Yeah, and of course, as part of that partnership, a lot of the work is obviously going to be around trade and investment. I'm sure a big feature coming out of these discussions. And I'm keen to hear what South Africa really can benefit in strengthening those ties with the EU from an economic point of view, Kaeli.
A very central issue, Naledi, especially because in light of COVID-19, quite a number of economies around the world were affected. So this is a very golden opportunity to try and reset, to explore other new ways, especially around the issue of technology and innovation, something that is quite important when you talk about the new economies, but also exploring other opportunities offered by the green economy, whether you're looking at hydrogen and many other issues as well. But something that is quite important as well, so many deliverables around so many aspects when it comes to higher education as well. But also, just a short while ago, we just saw South Africa's agriculture minister just walking in here. So there will also be other departments who are going to be involved in these discussions. So it really just shows the gravity and the seriousness of today's engagement between South Africa and EU, because these are very important partners, especially in a very ever-evolving global space in light of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Of course, this is quite a very thorny issue given EU's position and where South Africa stands, because currently, South Africa does have a non-aligned position, and the EU for the longest time, they've been supporting Ukraine, providing weapons. So once again, this is going to be another opportunity, perhaps to try and engage with Pretoria, perhaps to see whether can they change their stance, and also talk about, because the Europeans, they talk about unprovoked aggression from the Russian perspective. But it's going to be quite a very important discussions between the two leaders.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if South Africa is able to in any way sort of change its positioning and how it really engages with the issue of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, especially when we did see the Foreign Affairs Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, in the country just this week. So a busy week, certainly, for South Africa. I know that Borrell is also expected to visit Botswana. Do we know why?
All right, Naledi, I'm just going to step out of the shot. Mr. Borrell, in fact, has just arrived in here, of course, with other leaders from the EU. Quite a very important moment. So he's being welcomed here by the South African diplomats here at the OR Tambo building. So it's quite a very serious engagement that we're going to see during the course of the day. So you can see he's walking in here. Of course, some commissioners as well are flanking him from the European Union as well. So it's going to be a very important moment for Brussels and Pretoria as they try to strengthen what is a very important relationship between South Africa and the European Union.